What? You don't have to have an all built-in feature to be a good brawn? I have to contact my maker right away. Hi everyone, this is Triple T, and today I'm taking a look at Magic Square MS-03 Heavy Gunner, or Brawl, as I like to call him. First of all, let's look at this beautiful packaging, and the image work here is really nice. A bit sparse, but I like that. It looks good, and I like the little logo on top. Looks really G1-y. You can see it even more here. Heavy Gunner, the extraterrestrial mechanical life form. And on the back, you have a little tech spec piece, and you have a beautiful piece of artwork here. This is just outstanding. This alone could have made me buy this one. He comes with a really nice collector's card. Looks good. Very thick plastic on this one. And a totally workable pamphlet that shows you how to transform this guy into both alt mode and robot mode. I first thought this was gonna suck, but it actually didn't. There was one place I did get stuck, but, well, I managed anyway. He comes with the foot for combine mode, and we will go into this foot's articulation more when we get to combine mode. But it looks good. This nice moss greeny back here. And you have to flip this up right out of the box, but I'm not going to flip it back down just to show you because I think that's once in a lifetime tab in, and I don't want to risk it. But it looks good. He comes with this little handgun, and this little nice handgun can flip in like that and mount on him in alt mode. And this is supposed to go on the tank mode, of course. As you can see, it's really nicely done here. Vroom, vroom. And if you want it as a handgun, you can flip this down and fold those forward, and he can hold them as a normal sized gun. I do miss... What's mish? I do miss the ability to actually plug this on his back like Ocular Max did, because I really liked that. There's shoulder or over-the-head cannons, but it's nice that you can have it as a handheld weapon as well. Now for Brawny himself, and he is brawny. Look at that beautiful brawn. I was really afraid that I was going to be disappointed because he doesn't have any diecast in him, and I does love myself some diecast, but he is a masterpiece through and through. And I know that many people think that his transformation is difficult, and to me it's one of the simplest transformations ever. So I'm going to show you both ways in the separate video where you can see his complete transformation. If you compare him to the box, he has a, let's just say, duller green than the box, because this is a moss green, and I think that the box is more of a brightly colored green, but who cares, it still looks good. And let's get up close and personal with him. His beautiful head. Ooh, very nice indeed. Nice chest. Very nice chest and sturdy arms. A nice waist. Very slender hip. And, well, sturdy thighs, at least now since I pressed this together. It was delivered undecompressed. And nice feet, and you have absolutely no kibble on this one, which is quite amazing actually. And as you can see, very nice on the back as well. This little turret piece, I don't know the word for it, but I'm going to use that. Didn't have these on, so you have to install them yourself. they are a very, very, very tight fit, and the words I said during application should never be uttered again. Let's just say that. But enough about that. Let's go to articulation, and the head can go all the way around, of course. Look up. Is it a plane? Is it a bird? No, it's Megatron. Anyway, you can rotate this on the back, and you can pull it out, so you get it a bit more space here if you want to. His arms can do a 360. They have a butterfly hinge, so they can actually go in front of him. They can tab in to the front as well, but I like having it in the back like that. And you have a nice little swivel at the elbow, and you have more than 90 degrees here. And for the hands, they are really, really good. They can splay out, and you have one hinge on each. They are a bit on the small peggish side here, so I wouldn't be too rough with them, but they look really, really nice. And the thumb, is on a ball joint and one hinge as well. And you can fold them to the side, so he can just go, "Stop! You are not allowed to enter this premises!" And you can, of course, rotate the hand around. He has a waist joint. He can rotate like he should. He will crash into that, so you can either fold this out, so you can just go around like so, or you can engage the ab crunch, which he has in abundance. If you want to be funny, you can just do like that and turn him around so he doesn't, well, hit himself. Now, this is the first time I ever seen these kinds of hips, and I like the idea, I don't really like the execution. I'm going to tell you why. First off, let's fold these out. If you want him to kick forward, he can. This is extreme amount of articulation in my book. And this little skirt piece folds along with it. And to get it back, you have to fold it back or push this back. Then that will fold back forwards. He can kick back, of course, that much. But now for what I really don't like with this one. And it is a nitpick, because usually I like when they do tight ratchets. But look at this piece here. When you fold this outwards, everything here just snaps outwards. And if you hold it here, it might survive for a longer period of time, but I am too scared to actually have this leg out. But that's high as it goes, and then you have to do this inwards. I think those ratchets were way too tight, but I do appreciate a good ratchet anyway. Unlike the X-Transbots. Anyway, the knees have a double jointed thing here. I would have liked some filler pieces, because this looks kind of strange, but I'm not that nitpicky, I like it anyway. And you have a thigh swivel around a universal. The foot comes to the side, it tilts, it can go back for some reason, if you wanted to. No real up or down movement, but you can get him standing in... Oh God. Wide poses if you want to, so those feet can support most things. Now I'm going to do this inwards anyway, like that. The furthest tab in here inwards actually has some give to it, so you can, without executing those very stiff hinges in there, actually pose him quite good. And I do like that. I do appreciate them making that little extra effort to just move the legs about a bit, so you don't have to use those scaringly tight hinges every time. And I am, as most of my more faithful viewers know, a G1 accurate kind of person. And this really hits all those buttons for me. I forgot to show you during articulation. You can actually go out to there as well. So you have a lot of nice articulation in the arms. Of course, he can hold his little accessories very well. You just have to open up his hands and bring in the guns. The tab is very small, but that doesn't really matter because when you get it in, it sticks in for good. Or at least until you take it away the next time. And here we have the other one, so you can see how he looks with this as a handheld weapon, like that. That was a bit more tricky, only due to the fact that you can bend that handheld piece too much, actually. So, but as you can see, he holds this just premium. I am really happy about this. I'm really happy about this. And if you want him to get into another stance, you can see he doesn't really drop his guns. These might be a bit too loose for the big gun, but they work and they do hold a pose, as we all can see. But let's get those weapons away, shall we? Because the moment of truth is upon us, my friends. The comparison with the one I thought was my go-to Brawl. And I've really changed my mind, unfortunately. Because here he is, with Ocular Max's Brawl. And he does look good still. A bit too beefy in the legs, and a bit too detailed for my liking. And the hands are actually way better on this one. You can actually make him splay his fingers straight out. You can't do that on him, as you can see there. They are very different in size, and I do like these on the Ocular Max's one. I kind of miss that here. But they both look really nice and fill their purpose to a T. But he has always been my go-to when it's Brawl time, but not anymore. This is just so much better. And yes, he's a bit shorter, but that's due to the fact that he has the all built-in gimmick. When he becomes a leg, and we're going to look at the, well, similarities later on, he actually has this as well, so he becomes quite the large leg. And I want to compare him to my new standard of combiner, and that is Fans Toys Gary here. And as you can see, he is quite smaller, and this is much more heavy, due to the fact that there is a lot of die cast in here, and there isn't really here any, except for pegs and screws and stuff like that. But still, they feel on equal footing when it comes to quality and engineering. They are really well done. So if he had a bit more die cast in him, which I think he should because he's a leg bot. The legs should always be more heavy than the upper body, so it stands well. If he had a bit more die cast, he would be perfect. But I still think he is because he's such a great bot anyway. I'm just a bit afraid of the stability of the combiner. I do think the Magic Square nailed the transformation a bit better. They aren't the same bot, of course, but he doesn't have any kibble, and yeah, you can see that this was a bit rushed from Fans Toys, just so they can beat X-Transbots to the punch. I was gonna go from alt mode to leg mode to bot, but then I realized that so many people complained about this transformation. I just thought I would show you the way I do it. I don't know if it's official or anything, but because I think it's so simple. It's so easy to do. It's so fun and intuitive that I'm going to show you my way instead. And to do it the ToyTesterTeo way, fold up his little hands, open this up. This is very stiff because it's going to lock everything in place later on. Like that. Fold the hand in and tap that back in, like so. Turn it around and line these up and push them in. Open these up, close the hands, and you can actually, if they stop honking their horns outside, you close it up like that, you line this up and you push that in. Okay, now we come to this piece. You fold the head forward, so these mushroom pegs just loosen everything up, and you fold the arms backwards and you open him up, like so. And try to bend him a bit up and out, so these things just don't scratch anything. And pull this as far out as you can for now. You rotate this piece up, like so. And now we're going to take the backpack, because it has two mushroom pegs that are going to make life difficult for us. This piece is going to be slid forward, and when it's done, you have two mushroom pegs that are gonna go in there. So angle it forward and then press it down, and it should tab in if you have done everything correctly. And why does it fight me now? Because the camera is on, and now it is in there as it should. Good. You take the head. No, I pushed that in. That wasn't good. Take the head, fold it backwards like that, push it forward, and now we angle these chest pieces forward, like so. You angle these arms downwards, and you have a tab up here, and you have a tab down here. Start with the lower tab, it's easier. Then just tab it in up there. You do the same thing on this side. You tab it in down there, and then up here. And that is actually the front of him all done. Turn the waist around, and now we come to the legs. I'm gonna turn them out like this so you can see what I'm doing, because they tend to just get in the way of each other. Okay. Take this piece and pull it out, like so. Get his foot upwards, and then fold this little side piece in, like that. Untab the heel, and this tab is going into that port, so angle it upwards. So it's looking like that. Pull this threads down. This side piece comes loose, hopefully. Then you can just turn it around, fold it together, and mash it down towards the leg, like so. The leg, or the knee rather, should be in the backwards position here, because you need this space to fold that onto it. When you're actually doing it, you will know what I'm talking about. Fold this up, fold this out, because we need this little piece to tab onto the foot, like that. Simple enough, right? Now it stops being simple, but still very easy. You fold this out, you come to the back here and fold this light out, and that can be somewhat bothersome, but that went just fine. You take this piece that we felled out firstly, and just push that down, push that up, push that down like that, and then you just fold this down. Fold this out, and you have a little piece in here that needs to be felled down. and backwards, and this is going to be the piece that actually goes over these treads later on. Rotate the back treads. Don't push them in just yet, because we need these to go into stuff first, and, well, we have 2 tabs up here that actually are going to tab in right now. And you can see where they're supposed to go in, because they have obvious ports. And this is how you want things looking for before we close everything up. I'm going to do this again with the other leg. Now, there is going to be a lot of tabbing in at the same time. Press this upwards, so the ab crunch closes up. Then there are tabs here that's going into these back parts on both sides. So line them up and push everything together as hard as you can. Like that. Now we're going to tab the treads in there and then push them up on the back here. And you get a really satisfying click when you're all done. Ah, good. Now we come to the last piece of the puzzle, and these are now supposed to be angled in. And you do actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pegs. So you need to be mindful of very much at the same time. But if you press from the outside, everything should line up just beautifully, like that. Let's try it from the other way, just for funsies. Tab it in from the front and work my way back. Yes, that works as well. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost done. We just need to do this. And here he is, in his glorious alt mode. And this is a really nice alt mode, I have to say. A bit on the smallish side, but I don't really care. He will be a leg, but still. And he feels really sturdy and rolls like he should. Or glides, I don't really know. But he has wheels and they work just fine. The only piece of articulation you have is that you can pull this out, you can turn it around, you can hinge this upwards, but not when the piece is pulled in, but you can when it's out, and you can remove these if you want to. Yeah. That's about the articulation you get on him. So, but let's get closer and look at those details, shall we? Don't really open that, but who wants to? Really nicely detailed. I do miss the Ocular Max paint on these tread wheels, unfortunately. But you get what you get, and everything else just outweighs the lack of things. So, yes. You can flip these down and away, but that's more for alt mode, or rather leg mode. So we're not going to look at that now. You can, of course, take his gun, fold this down, and this little tab will go into the turret here. And you can take this one, push that up, and fold those forward. I always do it the wrong way, and just tab them on here. But if you do, you can't really rotate this, so maybe take this away if you don't care about that as much as I do. Yeah, because now you can turn this however you want, even though these are installed. Let's look at him with those cannons. And they do look good. They do look really good. But without them, this is what he looks like from above. From the front. The behind. I do like these lights though. And underneath. Now for comparison, let's bring back in Ocular Max's Brawl. And you can immediately see the size difference on these two. They are... I forgot to fold these away. They are the same quality, the same, you know, feel to them. They don't have any die casts on them. So you know what you're getting yourself into if you have that one. But this feels so much better in hand. But until I get the entire set, this is going to be my Bruticus. Kneel before Bruticus! Never. So, we have one last mode to go to, and that is the leg mode, of course. What you need to do is extremely simple. You turn this around, you push this in, you untab these two, like so, and you're going to tab them back into their little heel position here. Like that. Now you have tabs and stuff like that that you need to have when you actually get him in, well, leg mode. You put your little nail to the edge here and just flip this out. And there, we're done. We bring this in. We put this downwards. And these are gonna tab in here on his legs, so just get them pushed in. And here we have the leg mode all done. Before we look at it though, I want to know that you can actually put the weapons on. You can put that there. You can fold this handle out and you put that in there. So now you can store all your weapons if you want to. I don't like to store weapons like this. So I don't think I will be displaying him with that at all. So let's take them away. Now we can look at the leg. And this is just one solid lump of leg. And you can really lean on it and it doesn't even squeak. So it will hold without a doubt. But still, it's a very easy leg or light leg. So I don't know if it will be stable enough. But if we look at the ratchets, as you heard, they are just magnificent. Like that. And you can angle the toes out on two hinges. And you can actually put him in a walking pose like that without any help whatsoever from anything else. So it's stiff and it's well made. Kudos to Magic Square. And it's only their third masterpiece, so if they have this kind of quality already, I am really excited for the future. And for the last comparison of the day, here is Ocular Max's again in leg mode. And as you can see, Magic Square's combiner is going to be quite larger. Quite larger. And I did think that this was quite too short and had strange proportions, but I do still love this one. I do. I'm going to do that even going forward. But I mean, look at these legs. This is such a beautiful leg. I really look forward to seeing what they will do next. I have their Munitioner Swindle on pre-order, so yay! And I do like the white foot instead of the painted one because I like to see my feet as feet. So even if it isn't cartoon accurate, I like this. Yes, that's strange coming from me, but still. Now for my conclusion. This is an utterly epic bot. I never thought I would settle for a bot without diecast, but this is so good. I am lost for words. Magic Square just aced this one. I can find no faults on him whatsoever. I don't know how he will hold up to time, but he is so fun to manipulate and play with, and the engineering is awesome, the colors are great, the quality overall amazing, the posing possibilities, as you can see, are on a multitude. I think this is the most articulated figure in my collection, to be quite honest. Kudos to Magic Square for making such an amazing bot And I do look forward to collecting this set and their future masterpieces because you don't want to miss this one. I could go on and on and on and on and on of how good this is. Just get it. Just buy it. If the bicep swivel were a little bit stiffer, I would have given it a 10. But for a masterpiece score, it gets 9.9. That's how good he is. I'm not kidding. And no, I'm not sponsored by Magic Square. Trust me, I paid full retail price for this one. But I guess that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care.